Hey guys, it's Allison. I'm here with Lee.
Hi.
We're at a work retreat, but we've got some news from the California bar we want to share with you yet again. Thanks for joining. The big news of the week, Lee.
Ooh, is that the State Bar of California slapped the California bar's hand and said, "You can't do it this way. This is not how it works."
Yeah, there's lawyers, judges, sticklers for a procedure that
Oh,
apparently they're not convinced has been followed. So
yeah.
basically, they can't have Kaplan do the bar right now. But the state
Maybe.
maybe, but the state thinks that, they can just come back in a couple of weeks, get all this set, get it done. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at the date again because I feel like the dates are really important. Isn't it September like 25th, 24th?
24th today.
24th, September 24th. And that experimental bar is just in like 30 some days.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple, I think, week and change for you to sign up for it. So
Yeah.
all this moving kind of, fast. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I think the February bar in California might just remain unchanged. We do have
Yeah.
a news article that we can link to saying the NCBE is willing to let them use the bar as long as they do it in person. They can use the MBE. So I mean, come on, that's what's gonna happen, right?
I mean, is the NCBE gonna give California a discount because of their bad budgeting? I don't know.
I don't think that's gonna happen, but I do think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think February is gonna stay as it always was.
Yeah, this is feeling like just a little out of control, and I think as we see more and more press, I mean, this is moving into more mainstream press,
Yeah,
right? We
we
saw an
read yeah, we read,
article
like
in the Chronicle
yeah, the
today in
San
San
Francisco
Francisco.
Chronicle is reporting on, quotes from concerned law school deans,
Yeah.
things like that.
So it's starting to come up in, wider spread news circles.
The consciousness.
The consciousness, it is not going to go over well to have a lot of these law school deans be having quotes in the newspaper about how frustrated they are and how terrible of an idea this is. And then just to have the cow bar say they're going to do it anyway, not saying they won't, just saying it's not a good look.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be in the New York Times and Washington Post within, like, a week.
Yeah.
So,
So,
people are gonna start paying attention. So, I mean,
yeah.
come on, this is just not happening for February.
No. And let's talk again about this experiment. The November experiment, which we still don't have a ton more information on, really, other than we know people are signing up for it. I am telling folks that I think they should sign up for it if they can give it a good, honest shot. And then just guess how to prep for it because no one really knows what's going to be on it. I mean, we do a little bit, but not really. The other question is, multiple choice questions are really, really hard to draft. You should just ask the NCBE that tests questions on every administration of the bar. Um, there's going to be no widespread testing. And so are they going to run a 2-hour simulation in November and then have a whole another, 200 question set? Do we even know how many questions?
No, but my question, when I first heard about it, they're like, "Oh, we're testing the questions," which would imply they're gonna reuse the questions, but that seems problematic if the same people who are testing the questions are taking the bar.
Yeah.
And, I talked to a number of people who are like, "I've done all the questions in Adapt-A-Bar. I know the questions." And, they've seen them before. You kinda know what the answer is. So I feel like that might be unfair.
It's not feeling great. It's not feeling great for a test that has, such a lot of effect on a lot of people's lives. And I think the other thing is now we have the rumblings of, well, could there be another alternative path to licensure? Could we do it with work hours or writing samples and so you've got these other rumblings, which I'm not saying that maybe we shouldn't have those paths. I'm just saying that again, maybe implementing that in a couple months doesn't feel great either. I'm guessing there's a process that needs to be followed that isn't being followed about that either.
Yeah, no, Washington State apparently has come out and said they cannot force people to use the bar to be licensed, and so they're kind of scrambling to figure out what this alternative path looks like and when it's implemented, but, all these things take time.
Yeah. And inputs, and
Yeah.
usually when the bar changes things,
Stakeholders.
they put out like a thing for comment where all the lawyers who would be really cranky in California that they didn't have to take the bar or that they did take the bar and that there could be a whole new crop of lawyers that don't take the bar. They usually put out things for public comment and they
Well, I
report on
mean,
the
we've been having
comments.
a lot of meetings, Lee.
That's
There've been
true.
I get the minutes. meeting after meeting after meeting. I mean, for years they've been having
It's
meetings
true.
on this.
It's true.
But then all of a sudden, stuff's happening or
Stuff's
not.
happening
I don't
or it
know. So,
changes.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah. It's a
so
lot.
put that in your back pocket. If you're going to try to pass something like this, pay attention to the requirements, the procedural requirements, or it's probably going to be, put back another minimum couple of weeks when you're already under a very tight deadline, including the holidays coming up.
Yeah. So if I was planning to sit for the February or July 2025 exam in California, I think I would just study for the same exam for now. I don't think I'd change anything because if you try and guess what's going to happen, I mean, I'm kind of surprised, continually surprised about what's happening.
Yeah, I think 100% February, I would just pretend nothing's happening, and if you wanna do the experiment, great. If you don't, cool. Just, I just don't see that changing that fast.
Yeah. I mean, at least we know about the experiment that you should probably study the 7 MBE topics. So you can just do that the same way that you would be studying for the full MBE. Um, and then study for the rest of the test and we'll see what happens. I mean, next week, who knows? Who knows?
You'll probably see us again. Who knows
probably
where we'll be
who
next
knows?
week?
Will we be wearing sunglasses? I don't know.
We'll
I
be
don't know.
listening to the foghorns.
We will be listening to
don't
the
know,
foghorns. We
but
don't know.
thank you for joining us. Tune in, subscribe. Hey, you'll get these updates as soon as we do them, which might be tomorrow. We
I
don't
know.
know.
We don't know. Hang in there, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, please take a second to give us a like and leave a comment. And be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future content.